I published a few papers and a bunch of books trying to bring scholars from many other fields to bear on this problem from their perspective. So there is Artificial Intelligence, Safety and Security book, which is an edited volume with contributions from economics, political theory, mathematics, everything I could find, people suggesting what could be tried in this space. The latest book, Unexplainable, Unpredictable, Uncontrollable, talks about the limits we discussed in those papers, and the earliest, Artificial Superintelligence, was the introduction to the field. So what is the current state in terms of opinion within the AI safety community? I don't have the data. What I did is a very informal, very unscientific survey of nerds who follow me on social media, and it's small, not legitimate, but it seems only a third of people think we can indefinitely control superintelligent machines. We're getting something very similar when we look at the negative overall outcomes predicted, something called P-doom, probability of doom. If you look at average for machine learning researchers at top conferences, they give it about 30% chance that the outcome for humanity would be very, very bad. So we're not defining it as exactly existential always, but loss of culture, loss of technological capability, loss of freedom also falls within that category. If this was as high as 1%, it would be insanely high, unacceptable to bet all of humanity on this with no guarantees at that level. But those are actually much higher numbers. 30% average is insane, and some people have much, much higher P-doom probabilities. So in my work, I try to not just do the technical research, but also educate as many people as I can about the problems, seminars, master classes. I try to go on social media, introduce people to the problem. I give interviews. Some of them did somewhat well. We have translations of a book in different languages. But what is the main concern I have? I think what we're trying to do is to create something impossible, a perpetual safety device. By analogy with perpetual motion device, you're not just trying to create a safe GPT-6 or any other fixed model. You want to make sure that never, no error takes place in a sufficiently capable model. So not GPT-100, not GPT-56, all of them forever, under all conditions, all environments, novel problems, malevolent actors, hacking, self-improvement, they still never make a single mistake. That seems impossible. So the fundamental difference with cybersecurity is that in cybersecurity, you always get a second chance. If somebody hacks your account, you'll get a new password, they'll reissue credit cards. It's not a big deal most of the time. You may lose some money, maybe somebody gets embarrassed, but the world continues as before. We think that superintelligence safety is different, and we only get one chance to get it right. If it does something we cannot undo, something really terrible, we only have one humanity to experiment with. And so that's the fundamental difference. I think it is impossible in practice and even in theory to indefinitely control something many times smarter than you are. So to conclude, for many, many years, I collected AI accidents. I started with early history of AI and then was adding to it as news reports emerged. I continued this trend. There are additional papers you can see after the list in 2018 and 2021. But then I stopped because the number of accidents just exploded. With generality comes ability to mess up in many domains in different ways. The pattern you see here is that the number of accidents was increasing proportion to the deployment of systems and AI, but the general trend was if you created a system to do X, it will eventually fail to X. AGI is a system to do everything, so it will eventually possibly screw up in every conceivable way. And we can't really predict all of those, we cannot test for them, we cannot monitor for all that. So this is the state of a problem right now. We're creating something incredibly capable, very likely to be smarter than us very soon, but the state of AI safety is not keeping up with hyper-exponential growth and capabilities. The growth and capabilities is fueled by hardware, software improvements, data, investments, better HR hires, Whereas I know how to convert dollars into capability through scaling hypothesis. I don't know how to convert money into more safety. So the state of the art, honestly, in AI safety is either linear improvement or even constant state. And so the gap between capabilities and safety work keeps increasing with every generation. Usually what happens before releasing a model, evaluation process, red teaming takes place. They discover the system is lying, cheating, trying to escape, blackmailing. They staple that report to the model and release it, telling you to enjoy it, be careful, and the next model comes a month later. That's what I wanted to share with you, and I'm very happy to answer any questions you might have.
Amazing. Thank you so much. You can go ahead and stop sharing your screen. We will jump into some questions. So first, most guests here discuss how to fix AI safety, but your work suggests that fixing it might be impossible, a violation of fundamental laws. So if safety is mathematically undecidable, are we currently investing billions of dollars into an engineering project that is theoretically guaranteed to fail?
So in a way, yes. We are right now still dealing with mostly tools, which give us a lot of benefits. So it's understandable why there is so much excitement and why this investment is taking place. But more and more, we see companies explicitly turn to say, no, we're working on superintelligence and we want to get there first. And we just somewhat recently, saw US government initiate a Manhattan Project size scaling effort to expedite AGI development. So if we were saying we're 2 years away, now we're expediting this process. That seems somewhat unsafe.
You've applied Rice's theorem to show that verifying friendliness is impossible, and we rely on probabilistic safety in building bridges and airplanes, where 99.99% safe is acceptable for a Boeing 747, but still unacceptable for AGI. It requires absolute proof because of the scalability of disaster. A plane crash kills 300 people, a rogue AGI could end humanity. It's the infinite downside that negates standard risk management calculus. So given that, to set the stage, and something that you've already mentioned, we talked about in your presentation, is if we accept your premise that controlling an alien mind is impossible, does the solution set shift from AI safety to human enhancement? Do we need to merge with AI via brain-computer interfaces to eliminate the otherness of AI? Or is becoming the AI the only way to control it, or be on a more level playing field? And if so, what does that mean for how superintelligent humans will interact in an infinitely more complex system?
So I think any hybrid solution needs to answer what are we contributing to a world with superintelligence. So if you have this biological component of a hybrid system, you're not smarter, you're not faster, you don't have better memory. What is the reason you're still there and not removed explicitly or implicitly from decision-making process? I never get a clear answer about what long-term participation of a human in that model presents. So right now, yeah, obviously you are smarter, you are deciding on the goals, AI is just a tool, but at some point that flips and every day you become less and less important. So we don't keep our old phones around, tape them to our head and carry them around for some unknown reason. It just doesn't make any sense. So I think the hybrid approach will not work. I think uploading ourselves and enhancing completely deletes our humanity. If you are a piece of software with no interest in food, shelter, sex, what makes you human? You're an abstraction, you are just another AI created through uploading versus standard neural network training. So I don't see it as a solution at all. I think what we want is not creating advanced general superintelligence, but concentrating on narrow superintelligent tools for solving specific problems.
Founders are often driven by the desire to build, yet as you've pointed out, building can be very dangerous. Founders need to hear that safety is not a compliance checklist, it is the potential capabilities of the product. A car without brakes is not just a fast car, it's also a wreck. We can briefly mention the psychological burden of knowing that you might be writing the code that ends history, but assuming founders already know about adversarial design and that they should not design for a helpful user, but they should design for a genius psychopath, because if the system is safe enough for a genius psychopath to use, it just might be safe enough for the world. And on top of that, if safety by design is a myth, what is the brake pedal for founders that are building AI capabilities? What is the one constraint that every founder should implement today that doesn't rely on alignment or that the AI is programmed or trained to be good?
Yeah, I don't have a good answer for how to solve the problem. So I think if we build general superintelligence, we will not succeed in any adversarial relationship with it. Controlling it will not work out. So the best thing we can do is not building it. You said they're motivated by building. There is also profit motive. So overall self-interest plays a large role. You can still make billions of dollars. You can still be rich and famous and live a long, healthy life, concentrating on solving specific problems, cure cancer, improve longevity. You don't need to have something so general you yourself cannot benefit from it and will probably lose everything you have.